He was half a mile from shore, completely alone, when something pulled itself out of the water and changed everything about that morning. He didn't invite it. He didn't expect it. And for the next 40 minutes, he couldn't move a single inch. This is the story of a wild otter, a paddleboard, and the kind of moment most people spend their whole lives hoping the wilderness will give them and almost never get. It was a Tuesday in early October, the kind of morning where the water is so still it looks painted. Marcus had been paddleboarding this stretch of river for 3 years. Same route, same time, same 30 minutes of quiet before the day started pulling at him. He was a wildlife photographer by trade, which meant he had spent years trying to get close to animals that wanted nothing to do with him, otters especially. Fast, suspicious, gone before you could raise a camera. He had maybe 4 usable otter photographs in 3 years of trying. He wasn't trying that morning. He had left his camera at home deliberately, a rare decision for him, because sometimes, he said later, you need a morning that belongs entirely to you. He was checking the trail map on his phone, board drifting gently, when he felt it. Not heard. Felt. Something pulled itself out of the water onto the back of the board, shook once, a full body shake the way a dog shakes after swimming, and settled. Marcus stood completely still. He didn't look down immediately. He told himself later that some part of him already knew that whatever was behind him needed a slow response, not a fast one. He turned his head by degrees. A river otter, full grown, maybe 4 pounds, coat still streaming water, looking not at him but past him, scanning the riverbank with the calm authority of something that had simply decided this board was now its business. Marcus stopped breathing for approximately 4 seconds. The otter didn't care. It moved forward. Methodically, unhurried, the way you move through a space you have already decided belongs to you. It sniffed his dry bag, dismissed it, investigated the edge of his water bottle, unimpressed, looked briefly at his left foot, and appeared to make a judgment about it. Then it chose the space between his feet as its final destination, turned twice in a tight circle, again, exactly like a dog, and sat down, not lay down. Sat, upright, front paws together, looking out at the water ahead like a small, furry figurehead on the bow of a very confused ship. Marcus did not move. He stood there with his paddle across his knees, not moving for 40 minutes while it groomed itself with absolute dedication. He told the story 6 months later to a wildlife conservation group in Oregon. And the first question they asked was how he managed it. 40 minutes standing perfectly still on a paddleboard in moving water. He said he genuinely could not tell you. He said time stopped working the way time normally works. He said the river got very quiet and very large, and the otter got very small and very present, and none of the things that usually filled his head, deadlines, emails, the camera he'd left at home, existed in any form he could access. At the 20-minute mark, the otter began grooming itself, both front paws working simultaneously, moving from its face down its chest with the focused efficiency of something that had a precise standard for its own appearance and intended to meet it. It made small sounds, not quite chirps, not quite clicks, the kind of sounds that felt like commentary on the grooming process itself. Marcus, who had spent years in silence trying to get close to wildlife, stood there and listened to an otter narrate its own bath and felt something he later described simply as grateful. At the 35-minute mark, his phone buzzed in his dry bag. The otter looked at the bag. Marcus looked at the otter. Neither of them moved. The phone stopped. 5 minutes later, without ceremony, without any signal Marcus could identify, the otter slid off the front of the board and into the water. Clean entry, barely a ripple. Gone in under a second. Marcus stood there alone on the board for another 10 minutes, not paddling, just existing in the space where it had been. He paddled home significantly happier than when he left. That evening he called his mother. something he hadn't done in 3 weeks despite meaning to every single day. He told her about the otter. She laughed in the way she used to laugh when he was small and brought things home from the garden to show her, a particular quality of delight that meant she understood exactly why it mattered. He went back to that stretch of river the following Tuesday, and the Tuesday after that. He never saw the otter again, not that specific one in that specific way, but he kept going back. He said once that the morning changed something small but permanent in him, that it reminded him what it feels like to be chosen by something wild, to have the wilderness look at you, decide you are acceptable, and simply stay. Most of us spend our whole lives trying to be enough for the people around us. We practice and perform and edit ourselves continuously, hoping to be chosen, hoping to be kept. An otter doesn't know any of that. An otter checks your dry bag, decides you'll do, sits between your feet, and grooms itself while you stand there trying not to cry. Maybe that's exactly what we needed to see. If the story stayed with you the way it stayed with Marcus, if something about a wild creature choosing to simply be close to a person moved something in you, then you're exactly who this channel is for. We tell true stories about animals and the humans they find every single day. Subscribe so you never miss one. And if you know someone who needs a story like this today, share it with them right now. Because sometimes the best thing you can give someone is 2 minutes of proof that the world is still capable of this.